Hiya, I'm Tava Tucker.
And I'm Racheli Marks, and together we connect through the stories we hear.
During our episodes, we hope to learn,
revolutionize,
inspire, transform, and bring relatable content to you.
We would like to also discuss and internalize how your story can be someone's savior. This is the official
Together We Connect
podcast. Hello everyone, it's Racheli Marks here, and unfortunately Tava Taco is not here today. She couldn't align with the times and everything like that, and so we're so missing her. It really will not be the same without her, but we have a very, very, very special guest. So I'm so excited to introduce Shannen Shneier. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. It's so nice to have you, and it's such a treat. So for those of you who don't know who Shannen is, she is my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, and I'm very excited for her to be here. And the topic that she will be discussing is body positivity. So it's a really exciting and intriguing subject, because I think so many of us want to know a few secrets and hopefully learn a couple things. So without further ado, first question.
Firstly, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate you having me on your very cool podcast.
Thank you. And okay, so my first question that I wanted to ask you was, what does body confidence, body positivity, body image mean to you? And it's a very broad question.
It is very broad, and the truth is that from when we're very little, we're taught to think about our bodies in certain ways. It's obviously, if you're involved in the community, it's going to adjust that and your own way of thinking and learning as well. And I think at some point, at every point, everyone looks at their own body and sees that it doesn't align to whatever culturally they think their body should look like. And culture and style and fashion change all the time. And so there is no
trends.
Exactly. And there's no possible way to look as perfect as you feel you should be looking. I feel like we also place so much emphasis on the body and on how we're supposed to look all the time in our lives, and we've been taught to think that way as well. And so for me, body positivity is about like unlearning the way that we relate to our own bodies as well, and trying to look at our bodies, look at ourselves with new eyes, and find a way to place value in a different place than how we're kind of almost brainwashed to place value in ourselves.
Sure.
So there was a lot of words.
No, so to break it down for all our listeners, we're taught a certain thing, and now we have to basically unlearn it.
Exactly.
And okay, so that leads me to my next question, which is pretty obvious at this point. And the real question is, how do you unlearn something that has been so ingrained, so like, how do you adapt to changing what your brain naturally thinks now? Because we have been brainwashed.
We have.
Whether we knew it or not.
For sure. So I've got a few answers to this. Let me try remember to say all of them. The first one is that when I was little, I noticed that I looked different from how everyone else looked. Like, I was brought up in quite an insular community, and because of that, everyone looked a certain way and I didn't look like that. So I decided when I was young that I'm not going to be the pretty one, so instead I'll be the smart one. And so I placed my value in that. And it's interesting because I've had conversations with so many women who did a very similar thing to me. And so I valued myself for that. And then at some point I realized that I'm not that smart. I am smart, but I'm not it's not enough to put all my value on my intelligence. And so through that process, and slowly over time, finding different things to place value on myself and to put value on a variety of things, and not just the way I look. I really like the way I look. I really genuinely do. Not every day, but almost every day.
No, this was what I said. I said, as soon as you're coming on this podcast, I'm sure you're going to be like, body positivity is loving your body, but not every day. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen every day. And the thing is that it's almost every day. And I don't see it even as loving your body. I see it more as like, you're not only a body, you're not only the vessel, you know.
It's what's inside as well.
It's what's inside as well, but it's not only what's inside, it's also what you do with your life. Like, you're not just someone who reads a lot of books, or you're not just someone who makes really good pizza bread. I don't know. You're all those things, you know, and you're not only just someone who does things in the world and that's where your value is. It's about placing value on your body, but also on your intelligence, and also on your ability to give, and your ability to be kind, and your ability to connect with people, and your ability to be a professional, and all the other things that you also are. You're not just a body. Does that make sense?
I mean, it all makes sense. So to place value on another part of yourself, or another part of your capabilities.
And many parts of your capabilities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leads me to ask, so if someone is naturally not able to replace value,
Mm-hmm.
like, do you have any techniques or things that you would say is useful to someone who needs to replace their value?
So this is a technique, I'm an art teacher, and this is a technique we use in art. In art, at some point, if you study art, you're extremely likely to do a self-portrait. And it's so interesting doing it because you focus with so much detail on every single part of your face, and you can see, oh, my one eye is slightly larger, or it's slightly skew, and my eyebrows start blah 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 this far away from my whatever. You start really, really, really breaking down your face into its tiny pieces. But when we look at other people's faces, we don't see them like that. When we look at other people, we see them as a full image at
It's a whole.
same time. And while I noticed that I was doing that in art, and that my students do that as well when you're doing a self-portrait, I feel like everyone actually does that with their own faces in general, and their own bodies, and that they'll look in the mirror and all they'll see is their eyebrows. And so the technique that I would recommend is to start looking at yourself as a full image and not just one tiny part of you, because you're not that. You're not an eyebrow, you know, and no one looks at you and sees an eyebrow. But we look at ourselves and see an eyebrow, to use that as an example.
Sensational. It really is. Like, it's an unbelievable and very specific way to look at it. And so, recap here, we are brainwashed. We have to relearn ourselves and start looking at ourselves as a whole image and not just little parts of us that we hate.
Exactly, and the brainwashing that we get, I think a big part of the process is also noticing where the brainwashing is coming from. Obviously, we all know that social media is not real, but knowing it and knowing it are two different things.
100%.
And the truth is that even from when we're really, really little, and I find especially with women, but not only, is that from when we're very, very little, we're taught what is okay. You know, in Disney movies, the princesses always are skinny and they've got long, lovely hair, and the villains are not skinny, they're fat, often. And they wear dark colors, and they have yellow eyes, and they always look the same. They always look scary and evil. And the bad characters are scary and evil. Even in like Tangled, the bad character has curly hair. She's got dark curly hair. Most of my closest friends have dark curly hair.
That doesn't make them
It doesn't,
any less beautiful.
It doesn't, but I would imagine that a little girl growing up, if they keep seeing villains and evil people that look like this, like, they're not going to find themselves beautiful.
So I think there's so much controversy when it comes to opinions, as well as the fact that culturally, if you're in a different culture or community, you have completely different beauty standards. And that's something that obviously I can't really relate to someone who's in a black community or an Indian community. I can only see the issues and the struggles that we've had within our own.
Definitely, and it's something that it's something that I teach as well in my syllabus, is that incorporated in my senior syllabuses, my grade 10s or 11s, and we do a whole like art theme on unexpected beauty. And so they're supposed to, like, the kids are supposed to examine within themselves what they find beautiful and where they place beauty, and they write lists and they discuss their ideas and blah blah blah. It's very nice, and it's so interesting watching people, like, what's the right word, like, when you interrogate their own opinions and their own values. The truth is, we don't, like, when do we sit down and say, what where do I value physicality? How much do I value it?
And that's
Where
it's such an interesting thing, because I recently watched something on YouTube, and someone brought up this idea of asking a question to themselves and then journaling and like writing what it means. So what does physical, if we were to speak right now, what does physical beauty mean to me? And to start dissecting what it actually means to you, and then needing to actually somehow change that. That's a whole it's a whole work inside your brain.
You can't unbrainwash yourself if you don't know how you're washed. Can't change the spin cycle. Part of the syllabus that I do is that we look at different ways that humans and animals see beauty. So for example, like one of them is that there's this lovely video that was like very big in like early YouTubes, where someone sent a photo of themselves to all different photoshoppers from like I think almost every country in the world, and they said, make me beautiful. And you watch the video and you just watch how this person's face, Photoshop face, changes again and again and again and again and again and again. And it's so interesting to see that every different country thinks beauty looks different as well. And if every country is, how much more so your own neighborhood.
And how much more so individually.
Exactly. And it's almost like when I discuss with my students, they often say things like, they take it either two ways. They either say, oh, somewhere you'll be beautiful, and other kids say, you'll never be beautiful everywhere. And I think that's kind of where the border lies. I know.
Wow.
I know. I was like, I had to take a moment and like not show.
Wow.
You know? And
can you just repeat that?
For sure. When I show this video to the students, they take it different ways. So some again look at it and they say, oh, somewhere you'll be beautiful.
Somewhere you'll be beautiful.
Somewhere you'll be beautiful. Somewhere you are exactly the right type, the right face, the right body, the right everything, the right voice. Somewhere you're the exact right type. And other people look at it and say, you can't be beautiful everywhere.
And it's just coming from a positive versus negative way of looking at it. It's not even the case. It's just so much, I think, psychology.
Exactly. And there's something very freeing about the thought as well, is that like, you can't be beautiful everywhere because you can't. And trying to spend
According to society, every single person has different views, but every community has different views. And I think you've hit a specific point that has come up way quicker than I thought it would. And you're saying that it's impossible to be beautiful everywhere in society, but it's never, ever, ever impossible to be beautiful always to you.
Exactly. And it's very interesting because I feel like loving yourself is always a continual journey. Like
it never stops.
You're never done.
And you're never there.
Exactly. And the other day, literally like 2 days ago, I looked in the mirror and I realized that I was my type. I've never been my type before.
Your type.
My type. Like when I look at a woman, I'm like, wow, she's gorgeous. It's never been how I look. I've just had a different type. And then I suddenly realized the other day when I looked in the mirror, I was like, wow, this is my exact type. Like,
what
this
an
is the woman that I
amazing
now
moment.
look at. I'm like, wow, they're gorgeous.
What an amazing
it
moment.
It actually really was. It was such a good moment.
And that's not to say someone who else doesn't look different isn't your type either.
No, of course. I feel like I genuinely believe that I really believe everyone is so beautiful, and maybe that's also part of the process, is to stop looking at other people and saying they're not beautiful because of this, because you'll find those exact same things in yourself. If you don't like this person's way they walk, you can find that in yourself very easily. If you don't like this person's the way that they speak, you can find that very easily in yourself.
It's so easy to criticize.
So easy, and we do it, if we're doing it to other people, how much more to ourselves? And how much more we're always trying to strive for perfection.
Also, it's just so not nice.
It's so not nice. And when we look at other people and we're always criticizing them, we're not creating a space for us to be perfect. You know, you can be your version of perfect. So if you start finding everyone else beautiful, how much easier to find yourself beautiful?
I'm feeling this so much. Like, I wish Tova was here with us. So we're really thinking of you, and we hope that you're listening to us now. Well, we're thinking of you, and it's just not the same without your comments and so many things that she would say and bring to light that I just can't do. So she is so needed. And I think like something that she would say is wow, that's what she would say. Like, that is something that she would say. So we're thinking of you, and I think that we're amazed by the idea of what you're bringing across, Shannon. So it's amazing. So,
thank you. I think it's also interesting because it's discussing beauty almost becomes a taboo subject.
like, don't talk about it, it'll trigger someone.
Exactly. And like so much to an extent that it's almost like it's so important because we think about it all the time. Like we are literally trained to think about how we look all the time. I've spoken to so many women who like explain the experience of being a teenager or being a young adult and then sitting and thinking about how they look, like from the outside. It's almost like they're gazing upon themselves. It's also an art concept in that when you look at a painting, a painting can't look back, so you can look and look and look and look at it, right? And then we do the exact same things to ourselves, is that we're constantly looking at ourselves. It's like we're gazing at us all the time. And it's like you would sit and you'd be like, what would be the prettiest position for my shoulders to be in? What would be like the cutest way for me to tilt my head? How cute would it be with blah, 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 blah? Whatever it is, and it's like you're constantly interrogating the way that you exist in the space. You're not existing. You're performing almost for yourself. It's like you're acting for yourself. You're performing for yourself. You're putting on your own play inside your head. And I just think that
it's so unfair.
It's so unfair.
You would never do that to someone else.
But we also don't, because we don't have the time or the space in our head to, because we're doing it ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
And when we fill ourselves up with always looking at ourselves, we don't have any room to do other stuff. We don't have space to be more than that. And we turn ourselves only into what we are on the outside rather than what we actually are, which is part of the outside. Like, I do think the outside is important. I do want to also bring that across. I think it's important to look nice. But what we think looking nice is
not necessarily
what it actually is, which is just looking nice. You know? You don't have to come out looking ready for a wedding every day. It also makes weddings less special if you look like that every day.
So true. Totally agree. So this I'm going slightly off topic with the idea, because I know you so well, and you often inspire me when it comes to this, and this is the reason why I wanted you on here so badly, to shed light to other people who are really struggling with this, because throughout my self image, through my self-image and my body, like, as I would say, complications, my body image complications, you've taught me a fortune. And there's something that you really have taught me, which is being genuinely happy for someone else. And I know that this doesn't really link as much as we think to body image, but at the same time, often it does. We look at other people and we say, wow, she looks gorgeous. And then we start to feel bad about ourselves. And that's it's somewhat of a jealousy, you know, and it's how do we learn to eliminate this jealousy, rather to be so content within ourselves that someone else's happiness actually makes us happy. It's a very complicated one.
It's a very complicated one, and it's hard for me to give.
There's no one answer,
because I haven't. Yes, and I also haven't thought about it as deeply as I've thought about
body image.
Stuff. Exactly, and body image is also something that I also like. It's come up so much in my own education as well. I literally, like, I did an art degree, I did an education certificate, and then I'm also teaching teenagers. Like, this is a topic that comes up constantly. And so something like jealousy, I don't have as much to say about it. I do, like, I keep getting, like, back to the thing of, like, you're never going to be that. So worrying about trying to be that, you're not getting anywhere. Whatever that is, you weren't born in that body, you weren't born in that family, you weren't born in that system, you know. And also,
and it comes to like watching people who maybe look rich.
For sure.
You're not going to change that.
You're not going to have that life. That's not your life. You have your life. So what are you going to do about that? Does that make sense?
Make the most of your life.
Exactly, because you're never gonna. It's almost like you're never gonna live that life. So stop trying. Just live your own life. Does that make sense? You're never going to have her hair or her eyes. You can pay to get it closer, but it's still not going to be hers. Deal with your own eyes. Does that make sense? deal with your own hair.
And
You know,
does
you
it...
you can copy styles, obviously that's how fashion works and society works, and it should work like that. But it's yours. It's the way that you express it. Does that make sense?
Amazing. It's mind-blowing. It's amazing. I have no words to describe it more than that. But a big thing that I really do want to touch on, and then we will be heading back to the topic that we mainly have been discussing, is being happy for someone else, being truly, truly, truly happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where there's no jealousy, there's no, I wish I had that, there's no, you know, like you can be happy for someone and still be like resentful or like upset or angry that it didn't happen for you, or not even that, or even not caring sometimes, you know, as much as you should.
It's not the joy in it.
There's no joy in the happiness for some people. Lots of people are very good at putting on the right face and saying, I'm so happy for you, and I'm not saying it's not genuine. I genuinely am not saying that. But to be genuinely happy is a work, and it's something that a lot of people probably struggle with. So do you have any say on that?
It's interesting because I do feel like life is a work. The whole of life is a work.
Yes.
And different people obviously have different strengths in different places.
And different struggles.
And very different struggles. And I do feel quite blessed that while I have obviously been very jealous in my life, it has not been my main struggle. I have other like struggles. I really do. And while I have struggled with it, it has not been my main issue. I have my own ones, you know. But I remember when I was in university, and there was someone who, in my degree, she had a twin sister who was doing medicine, and she was doing art. And she was saying that like her sister has spent so much time working on medicine that when they both finished their degrees, the sister was emotionally years behind because doing art is a bit like just doing emotional work for 4 years on yourself and your own issues and your own preconceived notions. But she hadn't yet
preconceived notions.
Mm-hmm. She hadn't yet been able to make room for herself. Whereas the one who was doing my degree, she had spent so much time working on herself, she didn't necessarily know what she wants to do otherwise. And so there's obviously like different things that we come hand in hand with, you know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But what was interesting to me about that is that I feel like sometimes life is like that. Is that like you start off and you're in school and you've got no space to think about anything else because you're so worried about school and social and marks and da da da. And then after that you go straight into working or marriage or a job or whatever it is, and it's almost like we're always on the treadmill.
And we don't have time.
We don't make time. I really, really believe that
you can make the time.
You can make the time if you need to. If you really need to, you'll make the time. To
self-reflect.
And I'm not saying like I don't spend hours sitting and thinking, I don't have the time for that. But when the opportunity comes around to not just take everything at its face value, because nothing is at its face value. We're always taught to take everything, like throughout our lives, I think, especially when we're little, we're taught that, oh, this is how it is. And then some people always keep believing that for the rest of their lives. Always. And we keep getting the same signals, the same narrative, the same story that goes on and on. But it's not always true. And I don't feel like we always take the time to be like, there's this advert from like a few years ago. It's a Dove advert, you know, like the soap. This is going more back on topic. But in the adverts, they have a sketch artist, like for crime, like a crime sketch artist.
Yes.
Yes. Very cool. Who, like, he meets different people and they like mingle for a bit. And then like someone will come and they'll describe how they look and he'll draw them without looking. And then someone else will come and they'll describe how the first person looked, like describing someone else. And you'll also do that drawing. And afterwards you put the two drawings next to each other and they both look like the same person, but one is so much prettier.
And it's the one that the
and
other
so
person
that's
is looking.
described. Exactly. And so that's also something, is that like we look like both of those. You know, we've stared at our faces in the mirror so many times, we've taken a million photos of ourselves, we've seen ourselves so much.
And we're just so critical.
And we're always seeing the one that's like the critical one. But I think that it's also about training ourselves to see the other one. Like, how many times have people looked back at photos of themselves and be like, wow, I was so pretty then, but at the time they hated themselves.
Yes.
So
It's
don't
so
do
common.
that now. Just like yourself now. So in the future you can
You'll
be like,
like
wow, I was right. I was so pretty then. I think it's easy. Not really, I'm
No,
joking.
I totally hear you. So I think look, from a personal point of view, this is a bigger struggle for me than I would
Yeah.
say than other things.
Yeah.
Than other things. And I think my biggest lesson that I've learned is that when you're content within yourself, content with whatever you're doing, content with the fact that, you know, you're trying, you're growing, you're changing, and even though you won't always feel this way, when you're feeling more content, you feel happier for everyone else because you're happier for yourself.
For sure. Like, everyone makes aliyah and immediately they want everyone else to make aliyah. Everyone gets married, they immediately want everyone else to get married. You know, and like...
It's because they just want everyone to be as happy as they are.
Exactly, and I feel like sometimes we don't allow ourselves to... I feel like we can be happier than we are. And I don't necessarily see myself as a happy person. Like, I don't think that's a natural emotion for me. I find it much easier to perform being sad than to perform being happy. Like, during Adar, when you're supposed to be happier, I'm like, that's very hard for me.
Yeah.
Whereas like during 3 weeks,
Tisha B'Av?
easy. I can be sad very easily.
Same. I'm with you there.
That's a skill. What's your skill set? Being sad. I do find sadness easy, and I think
It's more natural.
it is more natural, and I feel like it's very, very natural to me. I'm actually keeping a cry log of the year of every time I cry. It's a lot. It's like genuinely a lot. I think in August I cried like almost every second
You bring
day.
this up so often.
I like it as part of my personality. But I just think that, so for me it's not about necessarily being content in yourself, because I feel that doesn't happen very often for me. I see it as more of
I do agree.
yeah, I see it as more of like not looking at
Everyone else the whole time.
not looking at everyone else the whole time, because
What's the point?
what's the point? It's literally like, what's the point? Like,
Like, bro, look at yourself.
look at yourself, but even like, you don't always have to be looking at yourself.
Don't
Just
look at
your life.
anything. Just stop looking.
Look
Stop
at things,
looking.
but look at things with love. When parents look at their children, they look at them with love. Always, when they're little. And when they're old, I'm sure they get more nonsense.
And
But like,
it's easy when
they're
do it.
little, they're like
Oh my gosh, she's
causing,
so cute.
they're causing nonsense, and they're taking photos of their kids like in every single instance of their life, you know.
And you're
when
obsessed, and they're obsessed.
and they're obsessed, and they're not doing anything. They're just like sitting there, you know,
Eating,
exactly,
running around,
But when we
smiling.
look at ourselves, we don't do that. Like, the same mom will take 1,000 pictures of her kid with like a messy face. Will spend 10 minutes posing for a picture.
So I think like
You know,
it's so.
like, turn the love inwards.
I
We're
love
very
that
cool.
because one of the questions I think last year for the Jewish Achievers Awards was like, what would you say is like something you try to live by, or something along those lines? And I said, you are your best friend.
You are.
And
Or
like
worst enemy,
genuinely, like, you can look at your best friend and they are the most gorgeous person you've ever seen. Like, I've seen best friends say this over and over again about each other, like, constantly. They're like, this person is stunning, and truth be told, I don't know this person as well as that person knows them. So they don't look the same in my eyes, although they are beautiful.
But love makes them more beautiful.
And love for yourself makes you more beautiful.
I think that's very wise.
Well, I think that you helped me get there.
Nice.
Thanks, wisdom.
I do agree with that, though, is that, like, also I feel that also as women is that we're educated to sacrifice for everyone else.
Yeah.
Don't ever sacrifice
And
ourselves.
this is something. This is a whole nother topic.
That is actually a whole other topic.
That is a whole nother topic.
But I also think as part of it is that like we're always taught we're
give.
taught to give all the time. Like there's an expectation of like, oh, you have an oldest daughter, oh, she'll look after the kids at the party or whatever. It's like, oh, you have a youngest daughter, oh, she'll help with whatever. And it's like we're always like
there's an expectation.
Like we're trained. Yes, there's an expectation of training. And it's like, use that training because you have the training in you. Use it on yourself. You know how to take care of everyone else. Take care of yourself too. And you know how to love everyone else. We're taught how to love everyone else because we're social creatures. We're taught to love.
I always tell you, take care of yourself.
And
you're like, I'm trying.
Literally.
I think it's the hardest thing for us women. I'm sure men, actually men as well. Let's not forget about them because
I think it's different. I think men are often, and I'm saying this really, both of these things I'm saying is a generalization. I think they're not at all taught how to care for other people, and then suddenly they're thrown out into the world when they like leave school and now they have to care for a whole family and themselves, and they've never been taught the skills, and I think that's horrible. Like that's
so interesting.
So unpleasant.
I've never seen it that way.
This is a generalization. This isn't every person, every household. I feel like part of it is that like we have the skills to look after people, look after yourself. And for people who don't have the skills, get the skills. Like it's a journey. The whole of life is a journey. You're not going to love yourself tomorrow if you've spent like 16 years hating yourself. But maybe, you know, in 5 years you might really love yourself. But you're not going to get there if you don't start today.
I think like learning all of these skills, learning how to fall in love with oneself and learning that we don't necessarily always put ourselves before other things. You know, like a lot of people say this horrible term, which I don't personally like, which is I'll sleep when I'm dead. You know, that's what people say. And the truth is I can't even imagine thinking about such a thing. Like, I mean I can, but it's such a horrific thing for me to hear because you don't deserve that. A person doesn't deserve that. A person doesn't deserve not to be able to take time out for themselves. And it's so unfair that society makes us feel bad to take time out. And I know that you're, as you called it, a generalization in terms of men. I find that once they are thrown into the world and they start thinking about everyone else, there's no time but that.
Yeah, you're always running,
anymore.
always on the treadmill.
And even if they're enjoying themselves, which I'm sure many women can relate to this as well, but I really want to make it so clear to everyone that men and women both struggle. It's not just one side.
Definitely.
And emotionally, they're told to not feel. They're told that it's not okay, society-wise. Generalization again. But once they become an adult, once they get married, have wife, have kids, next thing, they are responsible. There's no time out. There's no time out dad. There's no time out father. There's no time out husband. You know, it's... And it goes to show what our society has created. It's created the rat race.
The truth is, though, is that we live in the society, like that's how we live. That is our life.
This is the way that
that's
we've been taught.
It's how it is. Like, I say that a lot. It is what it is. It's how it is. So what are you going to do about it? Like, if you're fine with it and if it works for you, carry on. But that's not really the story that is heard often. And so if it isn't working for you, make your life better because you can. Like, you have, like, it's something that we can, that I find, this is a big important point for me, is that often we're expected, I think we have expectations on ourselves that we can't achieve things, right? That something is too hard, right? It's like, oh no, it's too hard, I can't do that. And it is hard, but you can do hard things. You've been spending your whole life doing hard things, you know?
Literally.
And if for you the hardest thing is finding a way to love yourself or to look at other people with love rather than with like jealousy, or to look at yourself in a way that like actually honors the fact that your body does all these things for it, if that is so hard for you, you can do it. It is hard, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. You can do hard things, you know. I think that we don't like doing hard things because it's not fun, but you can do it. You know, it's about putting in the work.
And
when
there's
you
also the
can-
opposite. Like, there's people who literally just do hard things and
That's very true.
then struggle to
Do
stop
soft things.
to do softer things. And
Mm.
I would say that's something that I really struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite an intensive, like,
Mm-hmm.
go person. And in terms of what I was saying earlier, with the rat race and everything, I think the most important point that you brought up when it came to that was the fact that society is telling us something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, you're listening. Whoever is listening, first of all, thank you so much for listening.
Hi, bestie.
Thank you for listening. And if you are listening, it means that you're learning to think for yourself. And that is what I'm saying. In this moment in time, you feel like society is telling you what to do. And people often say, but like, I have to do what everyone else is doing. I have to do the same thing. And the truth is, I was once you. I was once the same thing. I couldn't even think of standing up for myself. I had such terrible anxiety to like go out because I wouldn't look the way that I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get stares. Like, I lived in a different country.
Mm-hmm.
Things were a little bit more intensive there. And I was so worried and nervous to look wrong. And society was telling me this.
Mm-hmm.
If society is wrong, you have no excuse to be wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to make your own decisions, time to stand up for what you believe in, because whatever you believe in, whether you know it yet or not, go for it. Because I'm cheering you on. Together We Connect is cheering you on. And
I'm like half cheering you on. I also have other stuff to do.
come on, Shan.
Fine, I'll cheer you on with my full energy. Fine.
Yeah.
You said something interesting. You said you don't have to do something. And I think that's like a really good point, is that I think that we, like, there's often these expectations, you have to be a certain way, you have to.
And you
or
don't have to change if you don't want to.
Yes, exactly. I feel like there's something that's important about this, is that it's not, I have to be this before I'm valued. Value yourself now, and if you change, also value that. Does that make sense? It's not about having to achieve something in order to be a worthy human being to exist. It's that you're already a worthy human being. Work on recognizing that. And then whatever outside nonsense is also bothering you, change that afterwards. You're allowed to. I'm not saying you have to not, but I am saying you have to take yourself seriously. Like, this is your life. This is your life.
It is.
And if you're not spending it proactively, it's just going to happen to you. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so true. Every single thing that you've said today has been immensely helpful, not just to myself, but hopefully to many, many others listening out there. Hashtag you guys. Bestie. And let's sort of go over. Do you have one last thing to say?
I do have one last thing. One more thing that I do want to bring up, and that's about weight. Weight's one of those things that is also so taboo, like so extremely taboo.
It's so strange because this is literally what I thought we were talking about the entire time.
Oh.
It's like you think that you're talking about weight, like a lot of the time. That's
I'm not saying that we haven't been, but I really want to really say it.
Let's specifically go into the topic.
I want to speak about it exactly, and I want to speak about it because it is something that is so impossibly, incredibly part of our culture, as in the human race. And that's to a point where, like, people don't say the word fat. People just don't say that word. People say,
she's not small.
She's not small. Or, she's very, she's the person with brown hair. Like, they're purposefully trying to scoot around this descriptive word, and it's because this word has a weight to it, which is that wasn't
Nice.
pun on purpose.
That was a pun. I hope you guys are laughing.
Listening to my sad cackle. We've put so much on it. We, the people, have put so much
Onto that word.
To a point where it's like, we're so scared to even say it. But everyone knows someone who is fat, even maybe yourself as well. But that's not who they are. They are someone who's fat, but that's it. They're just fat. They're also all the other stuff as well. And we don't, it's just a descriptor. In the same way that a brunette is a descriptor. But we put so much on it, in that everyone's so aware of every extra whatever that's on their body, any extra
And it's
heaviness on
our
their
fault,
body.
you know, it's totally our fault, the way that we're composed and made and how we carry weight. It's totally our fault.
It's all on us.
It's not our fault. It's not
even about fault. Is that it's like it shouldn't be something with fault. It's just your body. That's it. It's just your body, and your body isn't there. Your body isn't there to be sexy. Your body can be, but that's not its purpose. Your body is there to help you move around, to digest your food, to help you enact yourself in the world. It's there to help you be kind to someone. It's there to help you be a friend. It's there to help you do your job in the world. It's there to help you enjoy the world. We have eyes so that we can look at beautiful things. We have ears so we can hear gorgeous music. We're not eyes and we're not ears. You know,
it is just a piece of us, a descriptive part of us.
It's just a descriptive part of us, and I don't think that we can suddenly erase all of the things about,
and especially how we feel
in one set, in that one.
And how we feel
about it. I don't think it's something that can be erased suddenly, because it's something that people think about all day. Like, I remember I would go out for a bridesmaids brunch where we plan a party for the bride or whatever it is, and none of the girls would order a fun food. You're having a fun experience. This is a genuinely fun moment. You're going with girls and you're all pretty and you've got your notebooks out and you're talking, and it's you're ordering water, you know. And it's not in this situation I'm giving. It wasn't because a money thing. It was in front of other girls you couldn't bring yourself to eat a muffin or whatever it was, you know. And that's so uncool. We're allowed to experience the world. We are. And I'm not saying that you need to go and eat 8,000 muffins. You can if you want.
Enjoy.
That would be great. But I'm sure
you won't like muffins afterwards.
Probably not. I want to say a lot of sushi. I could eat sushi for a year after that. It was so much sushi. But point being is that
Shannen had a lot of sushi.
Oh yeah, it's not sushi.
Sushi.
But the point is that you're allowed to experience happiness. You know?
And joy.
And
Experience life.
Allow yourself to experience happiness. You don't. I'm not saying you mustn't look after your health, obviously. What I'm saying is that looking after your health is also more than just doing fitness and just more than eating healthily.
I think taking care of yourself, as you were saying, it's so hard to take the time out to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself is having those down moments.
Yeah.
Where, okay, you eat too much.
So fine.
You ate too much.
On. Cool.
You probably don't feel great.
Exactly, and that's fine.
And you'll feel okay tomorrow. That's the biggest, hopefully.
You need to also decide to feel okay tomorrow. I feel like we really have control over, I feel like we have so much more control over ourselves than we give ourselves credit for.
And I think learning how to harness that is the little trick. And Shannen has given us a few of the most golden pieces of information and hopefully techniques that will help us, help me, help you, even help Shannen with the moments that she doesn't necessarily feel her best, because once again, humans.
I don't feel like it's possible to feel your best all the time.
It's not
at all. And if you're trying to achieve feeling best all the time, it's an exhausting process, and we've all tried to do it. And it's exhausting. It's not about giving up, it's about changing your priorities, if that makes sense. I know I keep saying that, I've said that like 1,000 times on this podcast. I always joke to my mom that I've got like a peasant's body, that I've got the type of body that's made to be able to run away from like the bourgeoisie while they're chasing me down. You know, I've got like a body that's made to survive.
I can really see that. I can
survive in the forest.
I can see you doing. I can see you doing that in a corset and like puffy sleeves.
Even though it's a body made to survive the winter. It's a body made to live in a forest while like the Russians are burning down your village. It's a body made to live and to survive and to. It's not like I don't feel like I was made to be sitting down the whole time. I feel like I want to experience myself. You know, and I feel like part of that is attached to all of these ideas about how we view ourselves. I think, yeah, there it is that I see it more as like, try experiencing yourself rather than viewing yourself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yes.
For sure. And I think not just cruelty, I just want to put a disclaimer out there, and not just cruelty to ourselves, like to be aware that if you walk up to someone and say that they're too skinny, that's an insult.
It's not nice to hear that.
That's not a nice thing to say. Also, if you're so tall,
it's not nice to hear you're too anything. No one wants to be too anything.
Or you're too short. Or it's like, no matter where you're going, you're getting it wrong. Like that's sort of the way that society has created this. And if you don't,
there's something wrong with being a tall person or a short person. There isn't anything.
There's
wrong
nothing
with it.
wrong with it.
But
and you can be beautiful both ways in so many different ways. And part of that is beautiful. Being shorter, being taller, being skinnier, being fatter, being all those things can create different beauty, you know?
Yes, it does. And I feel like it would be a sad world to live in if everything was
the same.
Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
How boring. Where would all our mental health be then?
Imagine what I remember saying to someone, it's like, I really want to deal with this issue I have with myself, like my body, right, whatever the issue was. I really want to deal with this issue, and then I can find out why I really hate myself.
But this is literally what I was going to say. Shannon and me were in the car one day, and she turns around to me and she says, I can't wait to lose weight so that I know what's actually wrong with me.
Exactly. Because spending so much time thinking about that's
what's going to make you happy.
That's what's going to make you happy.
And then you're still sad about the actual issue.
Whatever the issue is, like, doing the next thing isn't going to erase the thing you're already holding on to.
Yeah.
You know? And I found it very, very true. Is that it's like, life is constant self-work. And it's very exciting that it's constant self-work, otherwise there's nothing left to do, you know, except send emails, which
have to do.
Yes, but I just don't feel like life is to send emails. I don't think we got a gift to exist
to send emails.
And we also didn't get a gift to exist to hate ourselves for it. Like, we exist, that's very cool. I found that like genuinely very awesome. Also, the other day I learned how electricity works. Very cool.
Well done.
Yeah, I was very excited.
So, I know we're going to be wrapping up soon. So, I just want to say one last thing before. The way that we wrap up is we say one thing that we're appreciative for. And then that's when we end afterwards. So, I just want to say quickly, I'm going blank. Now I have to think.
What's your favorite color? Forget every color.
Let's move on to the appreciation, and it may come back to me. Okay, so do you want to start off with saying something that you are grateful for?
I went through a very major health scare a few years ago, and I had cancer, and very soon, as you know, and very soon after that, you were there. And very soon after that, I think like a year later, you and I both did a play together. And at the end of the play, everyone was going around saying what they were grateful for. And I'm being like, I'm just so grateful to be here. And everyone was like, oh, that's lame. Like, they didn't say that, but that was the energy, you know. But I really genuinely was, because at that time I so was.
You're
You
so
know?
grateful to be here.
And I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, we're so grateful to have you. Me and Tova. Hey,
Thanks,
Tova. That's beautiful. And thank you for being so vulnerable. We really appreciate it. Something that I'm grateful for is my family, not just my family, but my chosen family that I chose to have. Because Shannen is truly a sister to me. And to have such amazing people surrounding me, showing me and teaching me, and even being like, hey, Racheli, like, I think you're wrong. Like, just hearing that is so humbling, but not just humbling. I'm like, at first, whoa, really? You just said that? But really, it teaches me to become a better version of myself. And that's truly all I want. That is what I want. And going through this podcast, this episode during this time, I really want to emphasize that it's such a hard topic. It's a bit taboo. It's even disclaimers and triggers, and which we'll have to put a trigger warning on this, because it is so difficult and so hard to actually face certain things about ourselves.
I think part of this that makes it so hard is that we don't talk about it. I feel like talking about things makes them less scary.
I think we have. And I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much for being here on our episode. Thank you. And thank you so much always to Tova for being an incredible co-host. So grateful to have you. And it was definitely not the same without you. But you are here with us in spirit. And wanted to say the biggest thank you to Shannen for coming.
Pleasure. Just want to wish everyone a fab day.
Wishing you all a fab day. Thank you so much for listening. To all of you out there, we are so grateful. Sending lots and lots of love. Bye.
Bye.